You know how you always hear that data centers use so much water? Well, let me give you a real-life example of how it works. This is an AI data center in London, and the reason I'm bellowing is because the fans are going full tilt to cool these servers. The cooling is also happening down here with these pipes. But you want to know how much water is involved with them? Actually, none at all, because they're filled with a special chemical coolant, which takes the heat from the servers and brings it all the way down over here, where it's cooled by, yes, water. These pipes are full of river water from the Thames. We're actually under the Thames right now. And if you come over here, this is the system which transfers the heat from the coolant to the river water. I mean, this is crazy. You can actually listen, you can actually hear it gurgling up there. That is mad, right? And if you come over here, look, I'll show you. These are the big pumps which draw the water in from the Thames. Obviously multiple pumps, because if this system goes down, even for a brief moment, then financial customers could stand to lose billions of pounds. So the water comes in, it's heated up by 1 or 2 degrees, and leaves again and goes back into the Thames. And that's why, when I asked the CTO of this data center exactly how much water they use, he said,
Actually, zero. It's kind of a tricky question. We actually pull water in from the Thames River and we actually put it right back out.
An AI data center that doesn't use water, well, sort of, seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? It doesn't seem to fit the narrative we're hearing. But I think the reason that is because a lot of this comes from the US. And in the UK, the situation is actually kind of different, according to the best data we have, which, as I will explain, is not that great. But anyway, let's talk about it. So this is a survey from Tech UK and the Environment Agency of data center operators in England. And what it found is that 51% say they're completely waterless, and only 5% are fully water-based. And when you look at the system as a whole, using data from the market operator for the water system, you see something kind of similar. So only 2.9% of data centers in their data set use over 100,000 cubic meters a year. And just to put that in everyday terms, that is 100 million litres. Except that I think putting it into everyday terms is actually kind of a trap, and it's kind of a problem in this area, to be honest. Because when you imagine 100 million litre water bottle standing in a field somewhere, it seems enormous, doesn't it? What you've got to remember is that data centres are a huge industry, do so many things. And when you compare them to other industries, well, you can see that overall, they're not that much of a drain in our water supplies. So the y-axis here is cubic metres of water in millions per year. But to make it all a bit simpler to understand, I've put percentages here. So basically, data centres currently use 0.2% of our potable water supply. Same as the postal and courier sector. A lot less than catering and restaurants, a lot less than food manufacture, drink manufacture, and so on. So I think you can see, right now, data centres aren't really a drain, are they? And even if this number was increased by 10, which could happen with AI because AI chips run a lot hotter and need a lot more cooling, well, it would only get to 2%. It still wouldn't be a huge number, nationally speaking. But that doesn't mean I don't think we have an issue here. In fact, I think we have two. The first is about timing and location, because this is a chart of 2 anonymised data centres and their water consumption. And what this shows is that, as you'd expect, they use most water during the hottest time of the year. That could be a problem, right? Because just when we all need water, they're using lots of water too. And as we saw at that data centre earlier, you can't do a hosepipe ban equivalent for these things. They've got to run their cooling constantly, or people could literally lose billions of pounds. And you can imagine that if you put one of these in a very water-scarce area, and there are those in this country, then that could cause a real problem, couldn't it? Because it's draining supplies in this water-scarce area just at the time you need it. That brings me on to the second problem. To make this work, and to plan this effectively, and to make this transition go easily, what we need is data. And, we don't have it. I really wanted to give you the definitive answer on AI water use. But honestly, no one seems to have this data. The market operator says that it doesn't have clear visibility of the system. The data center companies say that the water utilities have it, and the water utilities companies say that the data center operators have it. We're planning a gigantic upgrade to an industrial system that might need lots more resources. And honestly,